Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, you always have to be at your strongest when you're feeling at your weakest, right? During trying circumstances, there is always an opportunity. And without changing the old ways, the new dimensions of life and living cannot be achieved. So, students, always you have to be at your strongest when you're feeling at your weakest.
So, with that positive note, let's start this session. In this particular session, students, we are going to discuss the alternating current through a series LCR circuit. We have considered alternating EMF source. Suppose E is the instantaneous alternating applied EMF, right? And it is connected to a series combination of an inductor, say of inductance L, a capacitor, say of capacitance C, and a resistor of resistance R. Let E and I be the instantaneous values of the EMF and the current in the LCR circuit. Now students, since all the three are connected in series, therefore at any given instant the current flowing across each of these three circuit elements must be constant, right? Also let VL, suppose this is VL, then this is VC, and VR be the instantaneous values of voltages across the inductor, the capacitor, and the resistor respectively, right? So therefore VL, VC, VR, it would be given by VL, it is current multiplied by the resistance offered by the inductor. The resistance offered by the inductor is known as inductive reactance. And XL, we are aware it's equal to omega L. Omega is the angular frequency, which is 2 pi by capital T, which in turn is 2 pi into linear frequency. VC is the instantaneous voltage across the capacitor. It is current multiplied by the resistance offered by the capacitor. The resistance offered by the capacitor is known as capacitive reactance, and it is given by 1 by omega C, right? And lastly VR, it is the voltage across the resistor, and it is I multiplied by the ohmic resistance, that is R. So students, VL, VC, VR are the instantaneous values of the voltages across the inductor, the capacitor, and the resistor respectively. Now let's make use of some basic facts. In case of an AC circuit comprising of an inductor only, the voltage leads the current by phase angle of pi by 2. So if this is the current, then voltage would be like this. This is VL. So in this case, voltage leads the current by phase angle of pi by 2. Now in the case of capacitor, students, we are aware the current leads the voltage by phase angle of pi by 2. So this is the current. This will be the voltage VC. So here current leads the voltage by phase angle of pi by 2. And in case of an AC circuit comprising of resistor only, we are aware both the voltages as well as the current are in the same phase. So these are the phasor diagrams which we have discussed individually in each of the cases, when the AC circuit consists of only inductor, when the AC circuit consists of only capacitor, and when the AC circuit comprises of only resistor. We have discussed all those cases individually in the previous episodes, right? I will provide a link of all these lectures in the description section of this present lecture. So you can fall back to those lectures as well in case of any doubt clarification. Okay, now let's draw the phasor diagram for LCR. Let's combine all these three. Now in an AC circuit, suppose this is the origin, and let us consider this to be the x-axis. Suppose this is the x-axis and this is the positive y-axis, OY, and let us consider this to be the negative y-axis. let us consider OY dash to be the negative y-axis, right? Now we are aware in an AC circuit containing R only, VR and I are in phase with each other. Therefore, both the phasors VR, this is suppose VR and I, needs to be represented along OX. VR and I are in the same phase, so both are represented along OX, right? Now in an AC circuit comprising of inductor only, VL leads the current I by phase angle of pi by 2, and likewise the phasor VL must be represented along OY. Suppose this is VL. Let us consider this to be VL. It leads the current by phase angle of pi by 2, right? And finally, in an AC circuit containing C only, VC lags behind the phase by an angle of pi by 2, isn't it? VC lags behind the current I by a phase angle of pi by 2. So it must be represented along OY dash. This is suppose VC. And let's consider case 1 when VL is greater than VC. So let's consider case 1 when VL is greater than VC, or IXL is greater than IXC, or omega L is greater than 1 by omega C. Let's consider this case, right? So VL is been represented by an arrow of longer length as compared to the arrow indicating VC. Now these are the three phasors, VL, VC and VR. So what will be the resultant of VL and VC? Both are out of phase. That is, the angle between these two is, the angle between VL and VC is 180 degree. Now whenever the angle between the two vectors or phasors is 180 degree, then the resultant would be given by the difference in the magnitude of these two, isn't it? VL being greater than VC, therefore the resultant of VL and VC would be VL minus VC along OY, right? So its equivalent phasor diagram would be like this. Let me draw it over here. Let us consider this to be the origin. This is the x-axis and this is suppose the y-axis. Let us consider this to be the y-axis. Now VL minus VC. VL being dominating as compared to VC, VL minus VC would be in the upward direction. This is VL minus VC, right? And this is VR and this is current. And this angle is 90 degree. So students, this is the equivalent phasor diagram of the above case. Here, these are the three phasors, VR, VL and VC. There can be three cases, VL greater than VC, VL less than VC and VL is equal to VC. We will discuss each of these cases one by one, right? In case 1, we have considered VL to be greater than VC. So the resultant of VL and VC would be VL minus VC along the direction of OY. So that is what I have done. VL minus VC along the direction of OY. Now, E, it must be the resultant of, vector resultant of VL minus VC and VR, right? So what we do is, we can complete a parallelogram in which the adjacent sides are being represented by VR and VL minus VC. This is the parallelogram. This is a parallelogram in which the adjacent sides are represented by VR and VL minus VC. So using parallelogram law of vector addition, the resultant of VL minus VC and VR would be given by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the origin. So this is the resultant. So it's pretty clear. In case when VL is greater than VC or XL is greater than XC, in such a case, the EMF E leads the current I by a phase angle phi, right? So therefore, it's pretty clear that in this case, EMF E, it leads current I by a phase angle phi, given by, now look, it's a right angled triangle, isn't it? And in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. So if this is VL minus VC, its opposite side must be also VL minus VC. So it is perpendicular by base. So tan phi, it is given by VL minus VC divided by VR. We can substitute the value. So what we get is tan phi is equal to IXL minus IXC divided by IR. So I get cancelled. So substitute the value of XL and XC. What we get is omega L minus 1 by omega C divided by R. So again I repeat, students, in the LCR series circuit, whenever VL is greater than VC or the inductive reactance is greater than that of the capacitive reactance, then it is found that the EMF leads the current I by phase angle phi given by tan phi is equal to omega L minus 1 by omega C by R. So it's a very, very important result. Let's put it as equation number 1. Now let us find out the current flowing through this LCR series circuit, right? For that, as I've told you, E, which is the instantaneous alternating applied EMF, it is the resultant of VL minus VC and VR, and the angle between VL minus VC and VR is 90 degree. So the resultant applied EMF, it would be given by square root of, these two are at right angles to each other, so it will be given by square root of VL minus VC whole square plus VR square. On substituting the values, what we get is VL is IXL minus VC is IXC, VR is IR, right? So I square can be taken as common, and when it is taken outside square root, we will be left with only I. So what we get is XL minus XC whole square plus R square. Therefore, students, current would be given by E divided by, if this is the RMS value, the current would also be correspondingly the RMS or the virtual value only. So it will be given by E divided by square root of XL, it is omega L minus XA is 1 by omega C whole square plus R square. So this is the expression for the current flowing through the LCR series circuit when VL is considered to be greater than VC. Now look, again, let me remind you the very important fact is the SI unit of current is ampere and it is volt by ohm. So EMF, this is volt. So what I mean to say is that the term in the denominator must have the same dimensions as that of the resistance. That is, its SI unit must be ohm. This term in the denominator is known as the impedance of the LCR circuit. That is, here ZLCR, it is actually the impedance of the LCR series circuit. It is actually given by square root of omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square plus R square. And ZLCR, it is known as impedance. That is the net effective opposition offered by the inductor, capacitor and the resistor to the flow of current. So it is known as the impedance of LCR series circuit. Now let us consider case 2. That is when VL is less than VC. It means that IXL is less than IXC, or in other words, the inductive reactance is less than that of the capacitive reactance. That is, we are dealing with the case when omega L is less than 1 by omega C, right? So let's draw the phasor diagram for this particular case. Now students, look, this is suppose the x-axis, OX. Now in case of an AC circuit comprising of resistor only, we are aware the voltage VR across the resistor and the current flowing through the resistor, they are in the same phase. So both will be represented along OX. In case of an inductor, the voltage leads the current by phase angle of pi by 2. So this is VL. It is the voltage across the inductor. It leads the current by a phase angle of pi by 2, right? And in case of a capacitor, the voltage VC lags behind the current by a phase angle of pi by 2. So in this case, this will be the diagram. It will be along negative y-axis. So this is VC. It is lagging behind the current by a phase angle of pi by 2. Now look, this is the case where VL is less than VC. So VL has been indicated by an arrow whose length is less than that of the arrow indicating VC, right? So VL, VC, they are out of phase. The angle between VL and VC is 180 degree. And E, which is the instantaneous applied EMF, it is the vector resultant of VC, VL and VR. Now let's find out its vector resultant. Now look students, VC, VL being oppositely directed, the resultant would be VC minus VL along the direction of the dominating one. And the dominating is VC. So let's draw the phasor diagram again. Let's simplify it. So this is the x-axis. This is VR. This is the current, right? And resultant of VC and VL would be, it will be VC minus VL in the direction of VC, because VC being greater than VL, right? So the angle is 90 degree. So now let's find out the resultant E, which is the instantaneous applied EMF. It is the result of VC minus VL and VR. Now look, if VC minus VL and VR represents the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then obviously its resultant would be given by the diagonal of this parallelogram. So this will be the resultant. This is E. So it's pretty evident students, in the LCR series circuit, when VC is greater than VL, then the instantaneous applied EMF lags behind the current by phase angle phi, right? So we are supposed to determine the expression for this phase angle phi. So since it is a parallelogram, the opposite sides must be equal, and this is 90 degree, isn't it? So we can consider this right angle triangle. So tan phi would be equal to perpendicular by base. So let's try to find out the expression for phi. So from the phasor diagram, it is pretty clear that the EMF E lags behind the current I by phase angle phi, which is given by tan phi. It's equal to perpendicular by base. Now let's concentrate on this right angle triangle. So it will be VC minus VL divided by VR. Now substitute the value. VC is I into XC, VL is I into XL divided by I into R. I is common, so therefore tan phi, it is equal to xc minus xl divided by r. Or students, the angle by which the alternating EMF lags behind the alternating current is given by tan inverse omega c, it's 1 by omega c, xc is 1 by omega c minus xl, it is omega l divided by r. So this is the expression for the phase angle. So in this case, EMF lags behind the current by this phase angle, right? Now let us find out the expression for the current flowing through the LCR series circuit. So for that, as I've stated, E is the vector resultant of VC minus VL and VR. And since these two are at right angle, therefore the magnitude, the resultant instantaneous alternating EMF, it's given by E equals to square root of, it will be VC minus VL square plus VR square. Let's keep on substituting the values and we should get the expression for I. So VC is I into XC, VL is I into XL, X is the capacitive reactance, XL is obviously the inductive reactance, plus I square R square. Still further, here I can be taken outside the square root, right? So we'll be left with XC minus XL square plus R square. Therefore, students, the current flowing through the series LCR circuit in this case would be given by E divided by square root of X is 1 by omega C, XL is omega L whole square plus R square. Now as we have discussed earlier, the SI unit of current is ampere. It is volt divided by ohm, isn't it? This is the EMF which is to be measured in volt. So what I mean is, the term in the denominator, that is square root of 1 by omega C minus omega L whole square plus R square, it must have the same dimensions as that of resistance. That is, its SI unit should be ohm. So this term, that is 1 by omega C minus omega L whole square plus R square, it is known as the impedance of the LCR circuit. It is known as the impedance of LCR series circuit. So it is defined as the net effective opposition or the resistance offered by the inductor, capacitor and the resistor when connected in series to the flow of current. Therefore, I, it's equal to E divided by Z LCR. Z is the impedance. So this is the expression for the current flowing through the LCR series circuit. Let us consider case 3, which is when the instantaneous voltage across the inductor is exactly equal to the instantaneous voltage across the capacitor. That is, we are dealing with the case when IXL is equal to IXC, which in turn means that when the inductive reactance is exactly equal to the capacitive reactance, right? So again, let's concentrate on the phasor diagram. Suppose this is the positive x-axis, OX. This indicates the positive y-axis. This is OY. And suppose this is the negative y-axis. Let us consider this to be YO dash, OY dash, right? Now students, again I must repeat, in case of an AC circuit comprising of resistor only, the voltage across the resistor, that is VR, and the current are in the same phase. So they both are represented along OX. In the case of an AC circuit comprising of an inductor only, the voltage leads the current by phase angle of pi by 2. So VL must be represented along the positive y-axis. This is VL it leads the current by a phase angle of pi by 2, right? Now in case of an AC circuit comprising of a capacitor only, the voltage VC lags behind the current by phase angle of pi by 2. So VC must be represented along the negative y-axis, that is along this direction. So this is VC. It lags behind the current by a phase angle of pi by 2. Now in this particular case, VL is equal to VC. So these two arrows representing VL and VC must be of equal length, isn't it? And VL and VC are out of phase. That is, the angle between these two is 180 degree. So obviously they will get cancelled out. So what will be the resultant phasor diagram then? It will be like this. This is O, origin, and this is the x-axis. So these two will get cancelled out. So we'll be left with only VR. And this is I. Right? So this is the same phasor diagram as was drawn in the case of an AC circuit comprising of a resistor only. So in this case, the LCR circuit behaves purely as a resistive circuit. It behaves as a purely resistive circuit. So in this case, the EMF and the current are found to be in the same phase, right? So students, again I repeat, when omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, that is when the voltage drop across the inductor is exactly equal to the voltage drop across the capacitor, then the impedance of the circuit is minimum. Let's check it. We know that impedance of the LCR circuit, it may be written as square root of, it is omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square plus R square. Or it may be written in this particular manner also. It may be written as square root of 1 by omega C minus omega L whole square plus R square. A minus B whole square or B minus A whole square, both are same, isn't it? So in this case, that is when omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. We are dealing with this particular case. Then the value of this whole square, it becomes 0. And the minimum value of whole square is 0. It can't be negative. So in that case, ZLCR, it will be equal to, it becomes 0. So it will be square root of R square. So it will be equal to R. And mind it, students, this term inside the bracket will attain minimum value only when its value is 0. Right? So this is the minimum value. So actually, the minimum value of the impedance of the LCR circuit is equal to the ohmic resistance. So at this condition, the impedance offered by the LCR series circuit is found to be minimum, and hence current would be given by E divided by ZLCR. We are aware of it. Now here ZLCR is minimum, which is equal to R, which implies that current flowing through the LCR circuit in this condition would be maximum. That is, I maximum, it should be equal to E divided by ZLCR when the impedance of the LCR circuit is minimum. So here I maximum, it should be equal to E divided by the minimum value of the impedance of the LCR circuit, and that is equal to the ohmic resistance R. So students, this is the condition which, when satisfied, the impedance of the LCR circuit becomes minimum, and thus the current flowing through the LCR circuit becomes maximum. And this condition is known as resonance condition. So it is known as resonance condition. So it is that condition in the LCR series circuit at which VL becomes equal to VC, or the inductive reactance becomes exactly equal to the capacitive reactance, and in such a case, the value of the impedance offered by the LCR circuit becomes minimum, and hence the current flowing through the LCR circuit in the resonance condition becomes maximum. And one more thing, students, here the EMF, this VR, would be equal to the applied instantaneous alternating EMF. This EMF is in phase with the current. So these are the three important points to be noted down. At resonance, impedance is minimum. Impedance offered by the LCR series circuit is minimum. Second point is current flowing through the LCR series circuit at the resonance condition is maximum. Third case, EMF and the current are in the same phase. E and I are in the same phase. That is, they are in the same state of vibration. That is, phi is equal to 0. And last but not the least, the LCR circuit behaves as a purely resistive circuit. The LCR series circuit at the resonance condition behave as a purely resistive circuit. So these are the conditions which get satisfied when the LCR series circuit is at resonance condition. So students, that's it for this particular session. We have completed all the AC circuits involving R only, L only, C only. Then we have discussed the combination of the circuit elements in electrical AC circuits, right? LR, CR, and this session was totally devoted to LCR series circuit. So I hope you have understood each and every concept which has been taught to you. So students, keep learning, stay blessed, and keep smiling always. Thank you. Do join me in my next lecture then.